Hey, pal. I'll see you in a few days, okay, buddy? Okay, so I just got to the airport here in Dallas-Fort Worth, and I flew home after my last show in Fort Worth a couple weeks ago, and I'm back this weekend to do the Cottonwood Art Festival in Richardson, Texas, which is a really nice suburb of Dallas. I was actually not necessarily going to make a video this week because I was feeling really anxious and depressed about having to leave home. Now with Milo at home being just 4 months old, it's much harder. And it's not really something that I was kind of emotionally ready for, so unfortunately it's been like really hard to leave home when I have to go away and do shows lately. So when I get in that kind of like depressed, anxious mode, I really lose my motivation to do things, especially make videos like this and talk and be personable and, you know, engaging on these videos. So I was not going to make one, but then when I landed here in Dallas, I had an Instagram message from someone who watches my videos, and they were asking a question about something I had said in the video and telling me how helpful the videos have been to them, and hearing things like that really kind of boosts my confidence and encourages me to keep making them. So thank you for helping to kind of reframe my mind. They were actually ironically asking about parking at the airport. So it is really encouraging when people tell me how much these videos have helped them. It kind of gives me that motivation that I need to keep making them. And something really wild, just this year since January, 3 separate times, people have come up to me at shows and told me that I'm the reason that they started doing art shows. And just the thought of that and affecting someone's life like in that big of a way to encourage them to get out there and show their artwork and try selling it, it's a really wild thought to me. You know, I didn't anticipate these videos having any kind of impact like that, but I think it's really cool that people have found their motivation by watching my videos. So thanks again. During setup the other day, I was feeling a lot better about being here. I started to get more comfortable. My anxiety about being away from Katie and Milo had kind of subsided, and my neighbor, a great artist, John Wayne Jackson, was setting up and playing music while he was setting up, and that song Cats in the Cradle came on. And if you know that song, you'll understand this, but I just kind of lost it. Like, even thinking about it now, like I started crying a little bit and just kind of had to walk away because it made me think about being away from Milo and my family, and it was kind of upsetting. But as tough as it is being away from them, the reality of it is that I actually spend way more time at home with them than I would if I were working a typical 40-hour-a-week job. It's just that all of the time that I'm away is just so concentrated into these little bursts where I go away and do a show for 3 or 4 days, or sometimes I'll go on the road to shoot new work for 2 or 3 weeks. And all my away time, instead of being broken up into 8 hours, 5 days a week, is just kind of crammed into one big chunk. And then when I'm home, like when I go home from this show, I'm home for a solid 3 weeks with them 24/7 until I go to my next show. And even like at other times of the year, I'm home for like 3 months straight at a time without having to leave daily to go to a job, like a typical work week type job. So if you add up all the time that I get to spend home with my family and the time that I'm away, I actually spend considerably a lot more time at home with them than I do on the road, or than I would if I were working one of those typical style jobs. And that is really one of the great advantages of being an artist and traveling to create and sell your artwork, is that we can kind of set our own schedules and live an unconventional life, that there may be some downsides too, but the downsides really outweigh the benefits. But that being said, I have decided to kind of scale back on my traveling for the rest of the year. I'm not going to be traveling away to do as many shows this summer as I had planned to at first, because the more I thought about it, you know, Milo is only a baby for a very short time. He's only a baby for like less than a year, and then he's a toddler, and then he'll be a toddler for longer than he was a baby, and then he'll be a little kid for longer than he was a toddler, and he'll be a teenager for longer than he was a little kid, and then he'll just be an adult forever. But the time that he's a baby is just so short, less than a year. So I don't want to miss any of that time, and I doubt at the end of my life I'll look back on my life and say, you know what? I really should have gone and did that art show that weekend, but you know, I'm sure even if I spent every weekend at home, I'll be thinking, wow, you know, I would give anything just to have, you know, one more week with baby Milo at home. And, you know, so I don't think I'll regret that decision.
A child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking for I knew it. And as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you.
So I can't wait to get back home. I have some new videos in the works that I've been a little slow at getting out because as great as it is to be home with a new baby, he does get in the way of my productivity, but I did manage to finish this video with my top 5 free resources for artists that you should go watch right now.
And the cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, don't